I'm currently a sophomore at MIT, like chess, because my parents wanted me to do chess. Hacker culture is very good, like counterculture, hippie culture. Like they like go inside of, like the walls of buildings or like chimneys and just like do parkour. Um,
Today we're really lucky to have with us Alexander Hu. He's actually like one of my family friends that I go skiing with sometimes. And he's like famous in our like group chat and stuff. All the parents are like, "Oh my god, this is the Alex who did all this like USACO platinum, gone to MIT and landed on the sun, invented rice, all of that, you
Bruh.
know."
Okay, so Alex, do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and where you're currently at right now?
yeah, sure. So I'm currently a sophomore at MIT,
Wow.
um, studying computer science and math.
Wow.
Um, yeah, in high school, I was really interested in like doing math competitions. And then I think I did pretty well in them. And then I also did some math research. And at school, I also ran cross country. So those were my main activities.
Okay, I'm sure a lot of us are wondering how you like got to where you are right now at MIT because it's obviously a very prestigious school. Um, could you give us a little insight on like any particular important steps in your journey?
So yeah, I guess the MIT admissions process is pretty like algorithmic in the sense that like if you like have these awards, then they'll probably like admit you. But if you don't, then it might be pretty hard to get in. So I think I was just really interested in math and I got to a certain level, which is like qualifying for the USA like junior math Olympiad.
Wow.
Um, and then after that, I did pretty well on the USA junior math Olympiad and got a award in that. So
Wow.
I think that's sort of the level that MIT is looking for. Um, and yeah, I guess it was a pretty smooth process in hindsight.
Okay, yeah. So like the interests that you have now, were they always things that you were like interested in as a kid, or like did they like develop over time? When did you like start to get interested in math and cross country and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I actually did like really different or kind of different things when I was a kid. So like when I was a kid, I did a lot of sports. Like I played like baseball and like soccer and like swimming. Um, and then I guess I also did like chess because my parents wanted me to do chess. And I think all these like activities were like very beneficial for like developing my like I guess my work ethic and competitiveness.
And then so when I like discovered math and so I started like discovering like math in like middle school, like sixth grade, when I took this like competition called the AMC8, and I realized I was like pretty good at it. So so yeah, so I just naturally just started spending more time on math, and I actually discovered cross country in like 10th grade. So I just like tried out for a team, and it was like pretty fun. And I realized I liked running a lot. Probably because like I did a lot of soccer when I was a kid, so I continued to like running a lot.
So in terms of high school, obviously it seems like you had a lot going on both like academically and like outside of school. And a lot of students that are in high school right now, like Claire and I, we're like always like agonizing over grades and extracurriculars because that's what people tell us that like we need to develop before we go to college. So how did you find your personal balance like of your lives in and out of school?
I'd say I definitely spent a lot of time on my personal extracurriculars. But at the same time, I just like spent enough time on school to like maintain like the grades. I think it's pretty important to like try hard in school and like do well in your classes. Um, but if it's like taking like a ton of time just to like get like a slight grade boost from like say A to A plus, then like probably it's not the best thing to do. But if you just want to like get like pretty solid grades, like A's or something, and it's not too hard, then it's definitely something you should do. Yeah.
I also wanted to ask, were there like any specific people or like particular people who helped you to like or like pushed you to do what you wanted to do, or like what, or if not, then how did you manage everything like independently?
Oh, yeah. So I think I was very self-motivated. So initially in middle school, I think my parents just like pushed me. In lower school, they pushed me. But in upper school, I just like found I kind of really like math, so I would just like do it. Um, because like I was like good at it, so it just made me feel good to become better at it. So I think if people just like find their passions and just it's just this like virtuous cycle where they don't need anyone to push them. Yeah, so I don't think I had like too many like strong mentors.
Being so independent, do you think that you should still use like the resource do you think you still utilize resources like in school, like for instance your counselors or your teachers, like how do you think those people played into like your high school experience, if at
Yeah.
all?
Um, yeah, I might have been a bit too independent. I mean, I did have like a lot of people like teachers at school who were like very helpful. And yeah, I think in general, like in hindsight, I would probably just try to find more, yeah, just more mentorship in general. And th this is just like really good in general for life. Like if you choose to like do something, you sort of want to try to find like the best mentors around to like help you, like done before. Honestly, I sort of did not utilize them fully. I did not really reach out to them fully, but if I did, I probably would have been better at math. Um, so I didn't really have too many strong math mentors, but I guess I wish I reached out to them more.
Did you ever have moments where you just like really doubted or questioned like the path that you chose to take, or did you kind of always like just stick with it and know that this was like meant for you?
Yeah. I guess I don't think I doubted my sort of path specifically. Um, I just had a lot of doubts about myself in general during high school. Um, because I don't think I had that many friends. Um, but like I sort of I don't know, maybe if I did things differently, I could have gotten more friends. Actually, well, this is sort of unrelated to the question, but yeah, I never really doubted my like my actual path because I thought because I was just like always very good at it. So yeah. But I am pretty lucky to have that experience because I think a lot of people like when they choose to do something, they might not be like that good at it. So then like they might have to like switch. Um, and I was lucky not really to have that experience, but that's totally normal.
Do you think you had any like setbacks though, like along the way?
I guess I realized I feel like once you do something and you get like better and better, but you can't get better like after like say some period of time, like that just means that like you should just stop doing it and like come back later. So I guess this happened to me with math in like 11th grade. So I just like sort of stopped doing that. Just like instead of doing like math, I did like math research for a while. Um so so yeah, I guess that was a huge setback. And um yeah, I didn't really overcome it because it's just like I couldn't really get better.
And oh, okay. Do you have any like advice for high school students who like might not know what they want to do, like who might not be as like maybe as decided or as like centered as you were in like helping like discover what they want to do in college and beyond that?
Yeah. Um of course just like do what you're passionate about and you like sort of are good at. And also like I guess if you don't know what to do, like I guess doing some like science thing like math or just like knowing how to code is just like obviously like it's just always going to be good. Uh so if you don't know what to do, then you should just like learn how to code and just like I guess you could do coding competitions or like um do extracurriculars involving coding. And also another thing that's good to do no matter what is to like make more friends and like try to like get into like more clubs. I think it's always good just to try to like do and explore more things. And then spend your time like sort of hanging out with people and learning from them.
Okay, also, now that you're in college, do you think that like your life now is really, really different, or like your interests now are really, really different from when they were in high school and stuff?
Yeah, I think my interests sort of slightly changed. I guess like I'm more interested in like computer science and just like my career now, which is pretty normal. I think like most people at MIT are like interested in computer science and like AI, probably like 50, more than 50% of everyone. And that's totally normal given how relevant these things are. But I think I'm still like really interested in like math. Just like I don't care about competitions, but I do care about like pure math and also just like related to math is just like physics. Like physics is like just math. So I'm interested in that too. And then so basically by doing these competitions, it just sort of like piqued my interest in this field and I just like explore these things in my free time. But yeah, my main thing is computer science now.
Do you think that like your original interest of like someone's original interest can like develop over time to be more specific? So then like that can help you target like a career and stuff like that. Okay,
I think for sure.
that's
That's definitely possible. I guess a lot of like people, I don't know, from my experience, like a lot of people who like, yeah, who sort of like have any personal interest in high school just end up doing computer science in college and just trying to get a job. And no matter what you do, like if you like I don't know, biology, chemistry, or if you like writing or whatever, like you can always just like switch over to computer science. Like all these skills are useful.
Okay, and since you go to like MIT, which is obviously not a school that everyone can like experience and go to, is there anything that you would like to share like specifically about your school, like any fun facts or things that we wouldn't know as people who like don't go there?
Uh oh yeah, like a lot of like MIT people like are really like interesting. So like they like a lot of them just like there's like a very good like hacker culture, there's very good like counterculture, hippie culture. And a lot of people like exploring buildings. So um they like go inside like the walls of buildings or like chimneys and just like do parkour. And then a lot of people find that very fun. Yeah, a lot of people go on the roofs too. So this is still a thing at MIT. I don't know if this is a thing at other schools, but yeah, anyways, like they have these events where they take like everyone just to go on these like parkours inside of the buildings. That's pretty interesting.
wow. Okay, I think the myth that MIT is very academically focused is has been debunked now. Let's see. Do you think like how important do you think extracurriculars like play a role in college apps? Because a lot of people they like a lot of my friends at the moment and a lot of my classmates, they are really intent on getting just loads and loads of extracurriculars, but in the end, like there's a lot of people that are now saying that it's not as important as you think it is in high school.
Yeah, that's true. Um yeah, I think extracurriculars are just like good for yourself as like just good for you to like be able to experience like different things and get like different types of mental stimulation. But like I think for college it's like important just to like well like yeah, if you really want to get admitted to like top schools nowadays, especially if you're coming from like Bay Area, you sort of just like have to be like naturally top ranked at something. It's sort of the sad reality, I guess. So so you like you just either you just have to be like really good at something. Um it could be like anything actually.
Okay, do you want to also tell us a little bit about like the people in like MIT as like as in like your teachers right now and also like your friends and like your dorm mates and stuff and anything interesting about them?
Yeah, I guess what you realize in college is that like people just stop really going to class that often. So like yeah, so just like a lot of people just like don't go to class and just like do a lot of like fun activities. I was very surprised when like meeting a lot of people, especially coming from the Bay Area, like how different they are. Like a lot of people just like feel like from the Bay Area, like a lot of people just like do like computer science and like tech and stuff like that. But like a lot of people from other places are just like very chill and like they don't really care about their career too much and they sort of just like do whatever like academically pleases them. And at the same time, like a lot of my friends, I was really surprised, but like there's this huge culture in quantitative finance at MIT. So quantitative finance is this like job uh where you just like use math to like trade stocks. So like a bunch of like people at MIT are like really interested in this. So and these quants have interesting lifestyles. Like a lot of people just like love to play poker and like just like they stay up during the night and they sleep during the day and so there's just a lot of interesting people that you see at MIT, I think.
Were there any, did you ever go to like any overnight summer programs or like any internships or programs that you've done related to academics or extracurriculars that have maybe helped you develop any other adulting skills?
Oh, yeah, sure. But middle school, I think I did this CTY camp. So I stayed at Stanford for like a couple weeks. So I think I developed some like skills from that. But honestly, I don't think it's like too hard to like transition from like high school to college. You just have to learn how to like do your laundry and just like I guess and just like put the sheets on the bed, and then I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, so I think study culture among people in like very academically rigorous positions is intense for sure. So there's a lot of talk about the actual necessity for things like all-nighters or like excessive studying. Like where do you think you draw the line of like focusing or like zoning in on academics?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I feel like all-nighters are generally like never good for you because they just like make you more stupid, right? Because like you're just not sleeping. So um yeah, so like even if I'm cramming or something, like I wouldn't stay up till too late. And also like another strategy is just to like sleep and then wake up and then start cramming. Um so so yeah, I mentioned cramming a lot because like I guess cramming is basically like what I do a lot. Um because like yeah, it's sort of just like yeah, just like procrastination, just like doing things like intensely is like a pretty good strat um in general. And also like yeah, enables you just to use your time more efficiently sometimes. Um yeah, I sort of forgot the original question, but hope that sort of answered it.
Since college is obviously really, really different from high school, how do you think the workload compares and like how do you think like the level of fun that you have and stuff compares to like how you had in high school?
Yeah, college is a lot more fun than high school. Um and also like I guess one thing is might be underappreciated, or at least for me, is like the people at MIT were like really like close or like sort of like I sort of already knew more people coming into MIT than like I did at my high school just because like MIT has this whole network of like Olympiad kids. Um, so that's a pretty cool perk about just going to MIT. You just like sort of meet everyone that you see in like the competitions. So just very fun just to like academically hang out with these people. Um, and um, yeah, so it's definitely a lot more fun in that aspect. Yeah. Yeah, so like the workload is like it depends on like how much work you want to do. Like at MIT you could like pile up on like infinitely many classes, and infinitely many research projects and infinitely many clubs. So you can like do like much more work at MIT than you do at high school. Because at high school, like you're just like limited by the number of classes you could take and like limited in number of research opportunities you have, limited in extracurriculars. So yeah, so like for me, I think I did like around the same or a bit more work at MIT, at least for now. But because I'm currently like sort of more learning stuff, but I guess like in the future, once I start like sort of doing stuff more, like my workload distribution will shift. Yeah, but like currently my like class workload or academic workload is like harder than at high school.
So in terms of like everyone's interest. And you said this like how it was like a default for Bay Area kids to go computer science.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like quote unquote standing out? Because apparently what I'm being told right now is that like you need to diversify your hobbies and you need to narrow them down so that you like stand out from the rest of the applicants. So do you think that's like really important, or do you think it's not?
Yeah. I definitely think yeah, just doing computer science and as a high schooler is just really hard to stand out. So I think the easier path is just to do some other like STEM discipline, and then do well in that, and then sort of just switch into computer science or just do that. And of course, there are just ways to completely stand out by just like not just like building stuff, like building physical things, or like doing like nonprofits, or like doing like amazing stuff like that. And I think of course that would just very, 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 very help. And that's just a very, very cool skill to have. Um, but yeah, I just have no idea how to do that. Um, yeah.
Okay, building onto that, with your college application process, do you think it was like pretty easy? Did you have to like write a lot of essays? Were you pretty confident with your stats? Like, did you get interviewed and like what was your experience?
Yeah. I guess it was sort of tough for me to like write like insightful essays about myself. So I just like wrote like very like my essays are just very standard like nerdy essays like I guess for me like yeah, so if you ever do like math or physics, like you should just like say that you're like interested in like understanding the universe. So like or something like that. Or at least that's what I said. And I think that worked out well for me. Um, yeah, so like for math and physics people like just say you're interested in understanding the universe and just like act like you're super smart and like you're like the next Einstein and etc. And then that's probably a good way to like write your essays. And then for me, like I just like my essays are just very straightforward, like non-literary. Um, and so yeah, I just wrote very straightforward essays. I mostly just used like my awards just to like get me into colleges. Um, yeah. So I guess like yeah, the process was pretty smooth for me. Because I had these awards and stuff. Um, yeah, yeah. I guess like just if you just like don't have like too many like if you don't have like spikes, then it's just like it might feel like very uncertain. But if you do have spikes, then like it's pretty certain you'll get in somewhere. So yeah, that's why like going off of what I said earlier, just like it's just important just to have some spike.
Okay, well, that's certainly a very, very interesting process. So you're very award heavy is what you're saying. But
Yeah.
do you think it would be possible for someone without as many awards as you like to like just get in using writing or some other persuasive form of application?
hmm I think it's possible, but it's definitely hard. I guess if you're not like sort of that award type of person, then you sort of would be like that sort of the nonprofit type of person. So you would like start a nonprofit and just like have a lot of impact on the world. And this is probably much more important than just like winning some random awards. So if you like go that route, that's also like very hard. And you could also probably get in. But yeah, if you don't really have any of that, then I don't know. It just seems it's just pretty hard, but it might be possible depending on like how you rank relative to other people in your classes and like your luck. And yeah.
Okay, I think time is almost up. I think the
Yeah.
interview was actually really insightful, and I will never say MIT like the same way ever again after you told me about the parkour and the chimneys and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.